Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
And we say good morning to the chair of the Paekakariki Community Board, Phillip Edwards. Good morning, Phillip.
Morning, Nigel, and not a very nice morning this morning, but again, we've had a good spell lately, haven't we?
We have indeed, and you've been rushing around the country with the bowls teams. What's it like in Christchurch these days, Phillip? I haven't been down there for ages.
Yeah, well, one thing I did when I was in Christchurch, I jumped on the tram that goes round through the centre of the city where all the redevelopment's happening.
Yes.
And the tram is a magnificent little ride for an hour. It costs $25, and you get a commentary, and there's either holes where they're going to be building more buildings, or everything seems to be new. It's fantastic, shopping development in the centre of town.
Yes, yep.
And even though I was down there for the bowls, it was something I really enjoyed doing at the end of the tournament, was going on that tour around on the tram.
Yes. And how are the people? Are they still a bit down, or are they fighting along? What's the story?
Well, I didn't really get a chance for those because it was a New Zealand-wide tournament, and so there were people from all the provinces there. Right. And there was only, a Canterbury team in the women's and a Canterbury team in the men's, and so it was being run by Canterbury people. But that side of town where the bowling greens are, there was no damage. It was all in the city and to the east.
Right.
And where we were was to the west.
Right, okay. All right, now, Paekakariki, how's that hotel? That was up for sale. Has it been sold, or is it still on the market?
I think it's still on the market. I may be wrong, but I've seen signs still there, and I haven't got the money to buy it. Maybe you and I could buy Nigel, and we'd still be a long way short.
Yeah, that's dead right.
But it would, it's still been run as a going concern and everything. There's no issues, and people have been talking about lately about how magnificent the restaurant is down there, and they've been loving the food that they've been getting. Somebody came back the other day and said, I had pork belly and it was just magnificent. So it's always good to get good reviews from others about restaurants in your town.
Yes, and does that include the film theatre as well?
I understand everything. Yes.
Oh, right, okay, good.
Yeah, the accommodation, the building, the hotel, all of it. Yeah.
Oh, it'd be quite a profitable little business once you got it going again.
I presume so.
Yeah.
Because you've never heard any complaints from the people who are there, and and not been interested. I must admit that I really, aren't up or au fait with everything about the hotel.
Right. Now, what's the news?
There's a couple of little things happening in Paekakariki which will be of interest to people who live here. It's that the Robertson Road corner, which is the one by the tennis court.
Yes.
It's been redeveloped because nobody maybe if there's 1,000 cars a week go around that corner, I would say you'd be lucky if 5 of those 1,000 follow the markings on the road.
I see.
They're always cutting corners or doing stuff like that, and so for safety-wise, we saw it as important that it be realigned so that people followed the correct road rules and didn't have head-ons by cutting corners or things like that. And so that's that the traffic engineers have started work on it this week. Also, at the top of Ames Street, we've talked about this several times, about the parking going to the track.
Yes.
The council officers at the moment visiting all our people who live up there and just getting an opinion from them. They've certainly had one from the community board, and they've heard from 2 or 3 people their opinions, but they're going to check with everyone, and we hope that we'll come out with the best solution for parking. But I still believe that we need to wait until the track along the main road has been completed, and that's meant to be starting again soon.
Yeah, it's not a danger for people walking along it, is there?
All the accesses to the beach have been refixed after the last storm, and a reasonably large amount of money was spent repairing all things, and we think it's important because if you come to the beach, you don't want to be clambering over things which are dangerous. You need to have a good access, and so we think that's good.
Yep.
And the last thing that I had is the traffic is becoming bad again. I don't know whether you've been down in the morning, Nigel, but this morning I hear there was an accident in the northbound lanes outside Ian's coffee shop about 6 o'clock this morning, just before then, and on Facebook it said about an hour ago that the traffic was still built back as far as Poplar Avenue.
Oh, right. I thought it had cleared itself, but however, you might be right.
I think maybe it had cleared itself once you got to Paekakariki.
Yeah.
But that getting to Paekakariki was the difficult part.
Yes, yeah.
And certainly, like the other day, I came home after 4 o'clock, and we certainly crawled along Centennial Highway until we got back to Paekakariki. And so with Easter coming up, I think people should think when they do travel, because there's nothing more frustrating than thinking you're going at a good time and then getting caught in the traffic and becoming frustrated in a car.
Yeah, that's right. Now, I'm just looking at the webcam, northbound coming into Paekakariki. It's nose to tail coming through there, right along Centennial Highway, so it's fairly heavy traffic there at the moment.
Yeah, so that's us.
What about the wind farm? Did you have your meeting on Sunday? You wouldn't have been there, but did they have that meeting?
Well, there was a meeting on Sunday. Excellent. Sorry, I'd forgotten about that. And apparently the hall was full.
Yes.
And they're going to repeat the meeting on the 15th of April.
Okay.
Which is really cool because apparently quite a few people said they'd love to have been there but couldn't make it last weekend. And so they're going to repeat the meeting, and it'll be interesting to see and hear and listen, because there was also quite a few Neighbours' Day events on in Paekakariki last weekend, and also there was the harvest of the garden that was put in before Christmas just at the start of Queen Elizabeth Park.
Yes, it was a busy old weekend, that's for sure.
It was.
Yeah. All right then, so another meeting on the 15th of April. Put that on your calendar to discuss a wind turbine. Righto, Phillip.
Yeah,
you have a good...
Certainly an interesting topic, isn't it?
It is indeed. I hope you can go ahead with it. I think they're wonderful things myself, but we'll wait and see. Thanks, Phillip, for your time.
Thank you, Nigel.
Phillip Edwards, Chair of the Paekakariki Community Board.
106.3 Beach FM.